It's Mary Amy coming live from New York. I'm a certified intuitive wisdom coach and I'm a light worker. I'm so happy to be here. I hope everyone's well tonight. Well, tonight I'd like to touch on inner peace meditation and relaxation. Now, our own spirit will be given a chance to guide us rather than outside influences. Attention to your breathing brings significant power to your mind, body, spirit. So let us remind ourselves to gracefully accept self-love. So let's go through a few reminders. If you haven't been with us before, welcome. A reminder to ask your heart, how are you feeling? Do you have anything you'd like to release? Do you want to ask yourself what's going on? Do you have joy? Do you have happiness? Do you have pain? Do you have suffering? We're going to talk about that. And then I'd also like to remind you about the invisible line that you're aware of, and it is protecting you. This is your sacred space. It's protecting you from those who are not invited to come into your space, emotionally or physically. Hey, how are you tonight, Rosalind? From Texas, right? So let's remind ourselves about the 1 foot of the invisible line surrounding us to keep our sacred space so that we have self-love. And then I'd also like to remind you about doing the mirror test. If you feel like you can do this, you say, I love you. I love myself, I accept myself. Now, if you feel something, when you say that, or you can't quite say I love you, then we need to investigate what that is. Hey, from Dallas, hi, Rosalind. So try that mirror test. And you know what? If that's the case, then we're just going to talk about how to get closer to your heart and self-love. I'd also like you to remind yourself, if you need to release any negative emotions that you have. Pain, sadness, anger, fear, hate. Maybe you want to do that by journaling. Maybe you would like to go down to a body of water and speak to the water and release it and let it go. Any attachments to something from the past, old thoughts that are hurting you right now. Now, if that's an issue and you feel that, hey, Ralph Dickinson, if that feels like an issue to you and you can't, and releasing it is not working, let's investigate exactly what that emotion is. And let's not have fear about it. Let's go to that emotion and whatever it is, or incident and circumstance that's in your heart, and approach it with courage and bravery. Because after we unravel whatever it is that's bothering your heart, you will find yourself to have a higher vibration and a higher consciousness. You will have more love in your heart. So let's try that. If you can't find a way of releasing it, go to your heart and ask it exactly what is going on there. What do I need to uncover about myself? And dig deep. Also, I'd like you to have, it might be a shadow characteristic that you have to uncover and get through. So sit in that energy, because the fear is much worse. Don't be scared. Let the issue unravel until it's no longer hurting you. This task will transform you. You are worthy of love. I love you. I'm sending you love. I want good things for you. Now let's also be reminded before we get on to the meditation about living in the moment, stretching out the moment. You know, if you remind yourself exactly what's going on around you, you can bring yourself into the moment. Like, I'm here next to a window, I'm in front of a desk, I'm talking to you, I'm living in the present moment. If you need to ground yourself, if you feel like your mind is lost and you're confused and your thoughts are looping and you feel overwhelmed, go out to a healthy tree, stand on its roots, touch the tree and stand in its energy field. It's very powerful. The energy surrounding a tree, which connects you to the earth, will help you to align your thoughts, words, and actions. And that reminds me, 5 positive words. Come up with 5 positive words that you can refer to. Light, nature, goodness, hope. You pick them. And then also I want to remind you about living in stillness, turning off technology and just having quiet and having peace and being comfortable in that. Because when we have stillness and quiet, we calm our spirits. All right, so now let's move on to breath. Okay, let me remind you about focusing on your breath. So what we're going to do is we're going to do inhale and exhale 3 times to start to relax our body before the meditation. And we are going to count in our heads to 12. So let's do this. We're focused on our breath right now, and let's do this together. Well, I hope that gave you a moment to feel more relaxed. So let's go on to 5 simple ways to relax by anda.org. So for a quick relaxation, why don't you lay down, sit or lay down before beginning the meditation so you will become more relaxed, your whole body. And so we're going to gently, so if you lay down, I'm not going to do that obviously, right? But if you want to lay down, or you can sit, and I want you to tense your body, all the different parts of your body. Gently tense your entire body. And then relax and withdraw your mind away from your body. If you want to let out a breath, go ahead. And now I'd like you to imagine that your body is like jelly-like and you have no bones or muscles. Okay, so now from this meditation handbook, which I adore and love, I want to give you some recommendations, and then we're going to do a simple meditation. So first, choose a quiet space and sit in a comfortable position. And keep your back straight so that you don't become lethargic and, tired, right? And we want to close our eyes, and we're going to bring our attention to breathing. So we're going to breathe naturally without attempting to control our breath. And we're going to become aware of the sensation of breathing. And this sensation is the object of your meditation. Okay? So we're going to try to concentrate to the exclusion of everything else. So we're just going to focus on our breathing, and I'm going to do it with you. So our mind will begin to be busy initially, and then we're just going to notice how busy our mind is. And then we're going to focus on the breath, and we're not going to become distracted by our thoughts. So we're going to practice this together, and then I'm going to say a few words after. Okay, so right now, we're going to do this for a few minutes. We're just going to sit here, and we're just going to relax, and we're going to focus on our breath. And if our mind goes somewhere else and is distracted, I'd like you to bring it back to your breathing, to the sensation of breathing. we've done that for, hi, Gary. We're doing a meditation. Now that we've been doing this for a bit, I would like to just remind you during your meditation that you're focused on the sensation of breathing, and that's your focus. And I just want to say that this is practice. It takes time, and we start to find a place inside of our being that is still and peaceful. And I also would like to explain an experience that I had. And this afternoon I received some information, and I believe that this is in relation to our meditation and a safe space. So it's funny, I received, I think it was divine intervention, information, and the information was to visualize this space in my mind, and in that space I see, and you can come up with your own, but I'll share with you what I saw. So I saw this beautiful green meadow, and it was grassy, and there was mountains in the distance. And then I also saw, and it was absolutely beautiful, and it felt safe, and I felt serene, and it gave me inner peace. And so I'm sharing with you this space, and the mountains were beautiful. And then in the distance, I saw this sunset. And I'm always speaking of a sunrise, so it's interesting that I see this sunset. And the sunset had beautiful colors. There was pinks and purples and oranges. And so I was told that this is a place that I should go in my mind, in my being, if I felt overwhelmed or uncomfortable. So I'm sharing it with you. So as you work on and you practice meditation, I'm sure that you will find yourself coming up with your own serene locations. So I believe as we become a higher vibration, we love ourselves because I love you. I believe that all about the beautiful glowing light that's in your heart, and I'm all about shifting away darkness and bringing you to light. And as we do this, we become a multi-dimensional being. We have a higher vibration, we have a higher consciousness, and we have an awakening, and we ascend. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the fifth dimension. We're in the third dimension here, but we find ourselves in the fifth dimension at a higher consciousness. So I also want to remind you about light on the horizon, a symbol of hope, that beyond our sight, there is a light. A difficult situation will improve. So farther than the possible limit of sight, beyond what is able to foresee the activation of our unconsciousness, a source of light begins the grand awakening. And you tap into your DNA for the best version of you. And I want to thank you so much for everyone joining. And I just want to remind you again, self-love, connect your heart and ask your heart how you're doing. Set up your invisible line with your sacred space. Release any negative emotions or engage with the negative emotion. Anything that's giving you fear, to embrace it and have courage and be brave, because it will transform you. Be well. I hope everyone's good tonight, and I'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be on to something else with self-love. I'm not quite sure. I'll share with you tomorrow. Be well. I love you. I'm sending you beautiful light. And I hope all your wishes and dreams come true. Bye.